Dear, which one is big, is the relevant one? Brigadier?
Brigadier is my rank, yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I think that is the only time we can hear a smile in Brigadier Gininda's voice. Yes, you can tell if somebody is smiling even if you cannot see them. So Brigadier Gininda, he definitely loved that question from Mshololo because she spent the whole of December, her entire cross-examination in December, she called him Colonel Gininda. Even the old interpreter even tried to tell Gininda that, why is she calling you a colonel? Like, aren't you going to take care of business? And Gininda's like, it's whatever, it's okay, we're cool. So Mshololo went from calling him just a police officer this one today to saying, oh, I'm so sorry, is it colonel or brigadier? Which one is the bigger one? Listen, Mshololo, I cannot, okay? She is hilarious today, okay? She is on top of it. And she's really coming out. I think Mshololo has really, I don't want to use the word matured, but there's definitely a huge difference in her cross-examination, especially with Gininda, and there's very little butting heads with my lord. She's changed her approach. She's also changed her vocal variety. Let me know if you have noticed that as well, or am I overanalyzing here? But I love this Mshololo. I love this because she's calm, she's collected, and she's focused, and she's not easily distracted by emotions. I think that's what it is. I think there's a little bit of maturity in controlling her emotions. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I continue to cross-examine, but that's what I'm picking up so far. Let me know what your observations are. Let's continue listening on because they're getting into the second part that I promised you, which is the contractual killings. The contractual killings. Why am I struggling with that word today? Here goes.
Brigadier, you also referred to the contractual killing in your evidence. You remember?
I do recall, ma'am.
Yes. What did you mean by referring to a contractual killing?
I meant the deceased was assassinated. It was an assassin, my lord. There was a plot and a conspiracy to have him killed. And I said you will find that, as I said, as early as before even exhibit HH and JJ, the first confession that was made by accused one, then you will find that there was an instruction to have the deceased killed, and the purpose, or rather the reward for that killing, was the payment of money. So then there was an arrangement for the deceased to be assassinated, my lord.
Okay. You say there was an instruction from who?
From Miss Khumalo, my lord.
Is there evidence relating as to how that instruction was communicated? If I've missed it in the dockets, the information relating to the instruction per se that was given by Ms. Khumalo to the accused.
Yes, my lord, you'll find it in the confessions. Accused one indicates that the killing was because of Ms. Khumalo who gave the instruction, and subsequently accused two also said the same thing in his confessions, and those confessions are part of the court record, my lord.
By the way, we have some new family members. Just a quick house rule. If you're looking for the trial running with no commentary from myself, you can actually catch this live, okay? You can catch it live and you can watch it from one end to the other, 5 hours straight, and there'll be no commentary. But on this channel, we're going to give our commentary. And with that out the way, I just want to ask a question, guys. Is this not hearsay evidence when Gininda says accused number 1 and accused number 2's confessions implicate Khumalo as the one who gave the instruction? Because the state's case is that Khumalo and accused number 5 spoke to each other. So inference from that is Khumalo called accused number 5 and hired him, NKABI of note, and spoke to him about the job at hand. Muzi Sivia and Bongani Ntanzi are not in a position to tell us about that conversation conversation allegedly, okay, let's assume it did happen on the 2nd of August 2014 and the 15th of October 2014. They are not in a position to tell us the details of that conversation. So therefore, I move to strike these confessions off the record, or at least this portion of the confessions, my lord, because it is hearsay evidence, and not just hearsay evidence, my lord. It is triple hearsay, because Gininda is speaking from the statements of accused number 1 and 2. And you know what? We listen in court. We listen. Baloyi objected when there was triple evidence coming on the defense side when they were doing cross-examination. This is triple evidence. Okay? This is triple hearsay. Triple hearsay. Strike it off the record, my lord, because we cannot validate that accused number 1 and accused number 2 heard. Who did they hear the instructions from? They don't outline that in their confessions. So strike it off the record. I move for it to be stricken off the record, my lord. But let's continue listening on.
Besides the information that is contained in those two confession statements, is there any other independent information relating to the instruction which is alleged to have been given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo?
My lord, if the question is to say, was the witness present when the instruction was given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo to the accused, we don't have that witness, my lord, if perhaps that's what Advocate Mshololo is asking me.
No, I'm not specific to say, is there any witness to that effect? I said, is there any other independent evidence relating to the instruction which is alleged to have been given by Ms. Kelly Khumalo, other than the information contained in the two statements?
My lord, what you have corroborating evidence, because you have this assertion made, then you have, for example, the statement of Zungu, Mr. Zungu, who is a police officer, who narrates what happened on that day and corroborate or say things that seems to corroborate what is contained in those statements. You have the statement of Simpiwe Sifiso Zungu Kwabeni, who says certain things insofar as what happened prior to the deceased being killed. In other words, all the 5 accused meeting at Basutuni Hostel, departing, coming back, accused one announcing that now have they heard that SENZO MEYIWA has been killed. And I've testified about this, my lord, that at this stage, it was before even the media covered the killing of the deceased. So, and then you have Simpiwe Buthelezi, who implicates accused, I think 3 and 4, about their involvement in this matter. Simpiwe Buthelezi. So if you take, and this is now independent from the confessions, my lord, so if you take the confessions coupled with corroboration of what happened, what witnesses saw, and those whom the accused or some of the accused spoke to, if you take them into a totality, my lord, as a collaboration, it does create an impression that indeed this would have been a contractual killing, because in my investigation, my lord, I found no evidence that suggests that any of these accused had a quarrel or anger or hatred with the deceased. They were not even in the same profession, so there is no reason that they would have been in conflict with the deceased, my lord.
And you also confirmed previously in your examination in chief that Ms. Kelly Khumalo was never confronted with any evidence that you have just referred to.
Usoshilo ukuthi inkosazana abathi uKelly Khumalo abakaze bamkhulumisa bamlande bambuzeke mina nofakazi onabo la kwenakhe.
Correct, my lord, and I gave the reasons as to why, my lord.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Uyabonga ke umeli futhi asithathela imibuzo.
Clarification. Who is it Sifiso? Simpiwe Buthelezi?
Yes.
Who is it?
Ubani ke uSimpiwe Buthelezi?
He was an acquaintance of accused 3 and 4, my lord, whom I think we read his statement in this court, my lord, it's on record, and I can say what he says, but in essence he says on the day of the incident.
Let's take it slow.
Okay. Simpiwe Buthelezi was an acquaintance of accused 2 and 3.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed on, my lord. That's the person we dealt with, I think, in 2023 during the cross-examination. By Mr.
Right. Who took his statement?
I took it.
Yourself?
Myself, yes.
Who ended up that statement in court?
My lord, it came up during the defense. I was cross-examined, and I think when there were disputes in terms of what I was told, I recall it was during the period of the cross-examination of the late Mr. Mbomezo. So it came up during that time, and I know that then we had to read it, my lord. We had to read that one on the main docket, and as well as the ones that were contained in these other matters that were investigated by Sergeant Mohani. So it came up during that the defense cross-examination, my lord. In fact, my lord, my recollection, there was a dispute insofar as what was contained in the statement and what I was telling the court. And then the court then ordered that seemingly we are saying two different things, if I recall correctly. This is now myself and Advocate Mngomezulu, Mr. Mngomezulu, we're not finding each other. Let us read the statement into record so that the statement speaks for itself. And I think that is how, my lord, then it was read, my lord.
So in other words, are you saying Viva Voce evidence? Your evidence was that Simpiwe said this and that and that and that.
Indeed, my lord. That's my recollection.
Okay, fine. Yes, any questions around?
No questions, ma'am.
Okay. Yes.
And just like that, Mshololo's out. She's done. It was a simple in and out, less than a day's work, if I might add. But yeah, Mshololo has completed her cross-examination. As I mentioned in my previous video, she gave Gininda homework, but then didn't follow up on it. I mean, it's like a teacher giving an assignment and never checking in and giving you your grade. But, and also leaving us hanging. But you know what? Fast forward, my lord is over here asking questions that I'm sure some of you were also asking. Who is Simpiwe Buthelezi? And Gininda says he was one of the acquaintances of accused number 3 and 4. Now, I want you to take a really bright highlighter and mark a line under this sentence, okay, and write it down. Hold on to it. It will become relevant when Umnisi takes the stand. And you're going to figure out why. I'll definitely talk about it then. But don't forget, okay? Gininda said, out of his own mouth, he was an acquaintance of accused number 3 and 4. Now, let's go ahead and continue with what Rata says. He says, but Gininda, he was ready to go into full paragraph mode, full explanation mode, full I know everything mode. And the judge said, wait, okay? Let's take it slow. First question, is he still alive? Now, don't you find that peculiar that would be the first question the judge would ask about a witness or somebody whose statement has been deposed in his court? Why did he jump straight to, is he still alive? That for me stood out. That for me stood out because that spoke volumes. Is it a norm in the SENZO MEYIWA trial for witnesses to die? Type a 1 in the comment section if you believe it is a norm, or is it a norm, or do we want to say it is an abnormality in this trial? So type a 1 if you believe that this trial has an abnormality tendency of witnesses dying. And let me know in the comment section if you know how many witnesses have died in this case. But we also want to go ahead, and the judge also then asked who took his statement. Gininda, of course, says, I did it myself. And Rata says, then who handed up the statement? Now, this is where I'm a little bit concerned. I'm really concerned because Brigadier Gininda, Advocate Mngomezulu, has passed away. But let me tell you something, Gininda is still holding on a grudge, okay? He is still holding on a grudge. Advocate Mngomezulu is not here to speak for himself, sir. Thankfully, the record will do that. But Brigadier Gininda, come on now. Let the man rest in peace. Anyway, if you missed it, Brigadier Gininda says it was during the cross-examination with Advocate Mngomezulu, and there was a dispute in what I was saying and what is in the statement and what I'm telling the court, and that is how it ended up being read into the record, and so that's how it went down. Now back to Mshololo. One thing that she did, which I enjoyed with her cross-examination, is the fact that she's poked so many holes just today alone in the state's case. She pointed out, and this time her focus was on Kelly Khumalo, the contractor, the mastermind, the one who called the NKABIs and says, I've got a job for you. She first of all attacked the statement. There's no proof in the statement form. Okay, no problem. You don't have any money trail, Gininda. Now tell me how else you could have reached this inference. Gininda says, well, there's no instruction. I don't have any instruction. He says, no, there is no instruction that we have, my lord, which was absolutely hilarious, okay? Because Mshololo had asked him, besides those confessions that you are relying on so heavily, is there any other information relating to the instructions which is alleged to have been given by Miss Kelly Khumalo? And I love that she said alleged. Because Gininda isn't saying alleged. Gininda is saying she did it. And Gininda says, if the question you are asking me is to say, was there a witness present during the instruction? Gininda, please stop it. That's not what Mshololo asked. Mshololo's questions were very simple and basic, in my opinion. And Mshololo says, that's not what I'm asking. Okay, is there any evidence? Is there any evidence that puts Kelly Khumalo as the instructor? And he says, well, no. He says, yes. The collaborating evidence of Simpiwe Gwabini, who is also Simpiwe Butelezi. Those names interchange in that courtroom. I don't know if it's to confuse the record, but it is what it is. And also of Constable Sifiso Zungu, popularly known here on Mzansi Unfiltered as Zungunizer, okay? And he goes on and on about the corroborations. But then he says something which stood out to me. He says, those statements gave the corroboration of an impression. They gave an impression. So are you arresting people based on impressions? Then this is highly questionable. This case becomes highly questionable. But he doesn't just stop there. Because that's what happens when you talk too much. You say too much. No, I'm not talking too much. But final point I want to make is Gininda then goes on to say none of the 5 accused had a quarrel with the deceased. In fact, they were in different professions. Gininda, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you a state witness or are you a defense witness? Because that right there is an odd goal. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, you watched all the ads, you already know you absolutely have my heart. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Okay, please share. I absolutely love it when you do. And another thing I want to mention as well is if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? I really want someone to type in the comment section, I'm not subscribed because I'm yet to see that. I'm yet to see someone explain why they're not subscribed, but they're watching. How do I know you're watching? Because YouTube tells me that these guys are watching and they're not subscribed. You gotta talk to them and ask them to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.